Hi, my name is Carlos Thomas, and I'm here to talk to you about the Central African Republic. So, to start, of course, we all know it's located in Africa. The population is 5.5 million people. The population growth rate is gradually increasing, which I don't think that is good for a developing country, but um, as of 2016, it was 2.12%. So, that number is gradually increasing. Poverty is a huge topic over in Central African Republic. It's defined as a lack of income or assets in the day-to-day lives of poor human beings. So people that can't provide for their families, food, treatment, like health treatments, things in that nature, you're considered living in poverty over there in Central Africa. Disadvantages are terrible health conditions, insufficient agricultural infrastructure, lack of education, things in that nature are considered disadvantages. Issues within society: violence, population, and the political party. The political party is over there is not like ours. They are inexperienced, and they pretty much just care for themselves. They're in the same boat as the normal people. They have to eat, they have to survive, pretty much, and they really don't care about the citizens. They only care about themselves, and it's corrupt. So whatever is going to benefit them, that's pretty much what the government over in Central Africa rolls with. The population, overpopulated country, any overpopulated developing country is not good. Things such like the environmental, it causes like environmental negative effects, and that things such as like waste. With an overpopulated developing country, small things like waste can be a huge deal. And especially over in Africa, people are dumping in like Lake Victoria and main water system over in Africa, and that can be bad because if people are drinking basically sewage water, then that causes people to have different diseases and things in that nature, which the death rate of that particular country go up, and that's not good at all. The violence is a huge thing over in Central African Republic. It's just that country do not have the proper security to actually maintain the violent rate over in Central African Republic. So therefore, that in that nature has escalated. More than 1 million people have been forced to to move out of the Central African Republic, and thousands have been killed. And is according to the CIA, the states does not reach further than 12 kilometers from the central capital. So pretty much most violence or like criminal activity happens that's 12 kilometers outside of the capital, which is the White House for us. Then pretty much they don't really care what goes on. So people get away with the killings, the shootings, things in that nature, because they have lack of security. There's no security, and people don't really care. So I mean, they're trying to provide for their families. So the violence rate is pretty high over there, and people pretty much want revenge, and they act out of character because of the political leaders. The political leaders don't care, and they leave people to feel like they are left behind. So I feel like people over in Africa act out of character because of that, and of course because most of the crime is to provide for their families. So that's a huge deal. Education, once again, is a huge deal. People are not educated enough about how to keep themselves. Basically, they're not educated on if they get a cut. They're not educated on how to keep it clean so that they can avoid diseases. Children are not being motivated to attend schools because it is overpopulated and is overcrowded. They're not getting the proper like education, to make them want to come to school. And lack of teaching concepts of how to make money, healthy eating habits, healthcare, adequate, like house etiquette, proper sanitation, and food management is lacking those things. And according to the Global Partnership of Education, there can be up to 87 children in one classroom and only one teacher. So they lacking teachers, and it's just not good. 10 students will share one textbook in the school systems over there. So that is a huge deal. The economy is terrible. About 74% of the population work in the agriculture industry, and substance agriculture is basically the backbone of Central African America. That's how they pretty much provide for their families. The substance agriculture give over half job. Like without that, they would basically be jobless. It's the cheapest way for people to assure food for their families. So that's pretty much the only, agricultural concept that they use. And basically, substance agriculture is where farmers focus on only growing enough food for them to feed their families and themselves. So that's their economy. They only, pretty much, I feel like everyone over in Central African America, including the political parties, have to care for themselves, and substance agriculture is a big way for them to provide for their food for their families and themselves. And so with that being said, to conclude, the economy of the African country is still under great stress as the government struggle to feed, educate, and keep their overgrowing population healthy. So, like people in the United States are conducting projects to help educate kids on, sanitation, educating people on how to plant and providing for themselves because they lack that. And so as of today, the country is still under stress, but we have seen progress, and hopefully they can, hit a turnabout and bring Africa up. So that's it. Thanks. If you guys have any questions, leave comments at the bottom, and thank you.